Okay, sorry that was a little faster at the end. The time was coming to an end of what I could record, 15 minutes. So if you didn't get that equation, make sure you have y equals 0.75x plus 300 after you use point slope form. However, when I look back at this information, it says the total cost of the party C is represented as a function of the number of pretzels made P. We need to change this. So ultimately, the final equation here that they want is P, no, I'm sorry, not P, C equals 0.75P plus 300. Now there's more to this question. Before we go to more of this question, let's make sure we know what everything represents. The C is the first thing. We know that C, it says, is the total cost. 0.75. We talked about the slope being how much they charge per pretzel. So 75 cents, and the P is the number of pretzels. But what is this $300 over here? We need to know what that means, just in case they would ask a question. So this $300 is our y-intercept, which when we were reading our problem said it was the setup fee. Make sure you always know what your equation represents. But the question says, if the total cost of the party C can be represented as a function of the number of pretzels P, what would be the total cost of the party if 600 pretzels were made? So this goes back to the past 2 days. We need to know what 600 represents. It's pretzels, so is it the X value or the Y value? And then we know it's P, which represents X, so X is 600. So at this point, you're going to grab your graphing calculator. And if you haven't clear the memory real quick. And as in the past 2 days, we're going to go to y equals, and we're going to type in y equals 0.75x plus 300. After you hit enter, we're going to our table, and we need to go to where x is 600. However, you might be scrolling for a really long time. So recall, if you don't want to have to use your table, we can just sub it back in to this equation. So if you don't want to scroll to 600, there is a shortcut, but I'm not here right now to show you. We can just put it in our equation. Y equals 0.75 times 600 plus 300. So you can get out of your table, and you can go to your calculator and type 0.75 times 600 plus 300, and the total cost of that party for 600 pretzels would be $750. All right? So that's the whole pretzel question, slope, and a point. So we're going to do one more today, and then we will leave the one at the bottom. I'll leave that one for you to try. We'll start with that one on the next day. A mining company is drilling a hole. Now think, when you drill a hole, you have to be going down in the ground. A mining company is drilling a hole to install a new gas line. The total depth of the drill, D, is represented by time in minutes, M. The company is able to drill down. They're going down, 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 15 feet per minute. Well, as soon as I see that per, I know this has to be my slope. Now, if they're drilling down, that is a negative. So this slope is negative 15. Down 15 feet every minute. 15 more feet down. The goal is to reach the natural gas chamber 15,000 feet below the surface. Below the surface means it's down, it's negative. The drill is 900 feet below the surface, that means down, after drilling for 60 minutes. When will the drill be 1,200 feet below the surface? Lots of numbers. We know which one is our slope, so we have to figure out which one is our ordered pair. So remember, what did I tell you about independent and dependent variables? There's something in this problem that goes with independent, which is your time, 60 minutes. So we know 60 minutes, and what goes with that? 900 feet below the surface. So if they're 900 feet below, we must use the ordered pair 60, negative 900. So we're going to put this in point slope. Y minus negative 900 equals negative 15, x minus 60. So I see something ugly here. I'm going to change this minus to a plus. That becomes y plus 900. And then we're going to distribute on the right. Y plus 900, negative 15x plus 900. At this point, we have to get y by itself. We're going to subtract 900 on both sides. When I subtract 900 on both sides, I get y equals negative 15x. This is gone. Remember, this equation says you use a d and an m. So instead of y equals, I'm going to make this d equals negative 15m. Well, I know d is the depth of the drill. The negative 15 is how far it's going down every minute. M is minutes. So why is there no y-intercept? You gotta be thinking, why is there no y-intercept here? Think about the context of this problem. This is about drilling a hole. So there's no y-intercept here because they didn't start drilling. So there's not a y-intercept because they're at 0. They have not gone below the surface yet. So that should make sense to you. If they're drilling a hole, there should be nowhere they're at because they're starting at the ground. So we have one last part in this question. It says, when will the drill be 1,200 feet, there's that word again, below the surface? If they are below the surface, that's negative. But we have to figure out, is this 1,200 feet the x or the y? That is the y value. So we're going to look for y equals negative 1,200. Go to your calculator, go to y equals, clear out the old one. We have y equals negative 15x. Now you're going to put that in. You're going to go to your table, second graph. So you need to scroll till you see y is negative 1,200. And you should scroll until you see x equals 80. Now if you don't want to scroll, remember you can just use your equation. And you can put negative 1,200 equals negative 15x. Divide both sides by negative 15. And you can get your same answer by just doing your math with the equation if you're a person that doesn't want to scroll for that period of time. So you get the same answer of 80, and that is 80 minutes. What I would like you to do is to try the bottom one with the remainder of class time. I'm not going to give you any homework today, but try this last one on your own with the remainder of time. It's about a drone. There's drone A, there's drone B, and then there's a drone C. And we will resume with this on Monday, or the next time we're in class.